Job chapter 21. Job's dialogue on the wicked. Then Job replied, "Listen carefully to my words. Let this be your consolation. Bear with me as I speak, and after I have spoken, mock on. As for me, is my complaint against man? If so, why should I not be impatient? Look at me and be appalled. Put your hand over your mouth. When I think of it, I am terrified, and my flesh shudders. Why do the wicked go on living, growing old and increasing in power? Their children are established in their presence, their offspring before their eyes. Their homes have peace and are free from fear. No rod of God is on them. His bull breeds without fail. His cow calves and does not miscarry. They send out their little ones like a flock, and their children dance. They sing to the tambourine and harp, and rejoice at the sound of the flute. They spend their days in prosperity, and in a moment go down to Sheol. Yet they say to God, 'Leave us alone. We have no desire to know your ways.' Who is Shaddai that we should serve him? What would we gain if we pray to him? Look, their prosperity is not in their own hands. The counsel of the wicked is far from me. How often is the lamp of the wicked snuffed out, or calamity fallen on them? How often does he allot pain in his anger? How often are they like straw before the wind, like chaff swept away by the storm? You say, God stores up the punishment for his children. Let him repay the wicked so he may know it. Let his own eyes see his ruin. Let him drink the wrath of Shaddai. For what does he care for his family that leaves him behind when the number of his months has come to an end? Can anyone teach God knowledge, since he judges even the highest? One dies in his full strength, completely secure and at ease. His pails are full of milk, his bones are moist with marrow. Yet another dies in bitterness of soul, never having tasted goodness. Together they lie in the dust, and worms cover over them. Behold, I know your thoughts, the schemes by which you wrong me. For you ask, where is your nobleman's house, and the tent where the wicked lived? Have you not asked travelers? Do you not recognize their accounts, that the wicked are spared for the day of calamity, that they are brought to the day of wrath? Who declares his conduct to his face? Who repays him for what he has done? He is brought to the grave, and watch is kept over his tomb. The soil in the valley is sweet to him. Everyone follows after him, and countless are those before him. So how will your futility comfort me? For your answers remain nothing but falsehood. Job 22. Eliphaz keeps pointing at sin. Then Eliphaz the Temanite responded, saying, Can a man be useful to God? Can even a wise man benefit him? What pleasure is it to Shaddai if you are righteous, or what gain if your ways are blameless? Is it because of your reverence that he corrects you, that he brings judgment against you? Is not your wickedness great, and is there no end to your iniquity? For you took pledges from your brothers for no reason. You stripped the naked of their clothing. You gave the weary no water to drink, and from the hungry you withhold bread. Though you were a mighty man, owning land, an honored man living on it, you sent widows away empty-handed and crushed the arms of orphans. That is why snares surround you, and why sudden fear terrifies you, or why it is so dark that you cannot see, and why a flood of water covers you. Is not God the heights of the heaven, and the sea of the lofty stars? How high they are! Yet you say, what does God know? Does he judge through such thick darkness? Thick clouds veil him so he does not see as he walks in the vault of heaven. Will you keep to the old way that wicked men have trod? They were snatched away before their time, their foundations washed away by a river. They said to God, leave us alone. What can Shaddai do to us? Yet he filled their houses with good things, but the counsel of the wicked is far from me. The righteous see and rejoice. The innocent mock them, saying, surely our foes are cut off, and fire consumes their abundance. Reconcile now with him and have shalom, and in this way prosperity will come to you. Accept instruction from his mouth and store up his words in your heart. If you return to Shaddai, you will be restored. If you remove iniquity far from your tent and throw your gold in the dust, the gold of Ophir, to the rocks of the wadis, then Shaddai will be your gold and your precious silver. Surely then Shaddai will be your delight, and you will lift up your face to God. You will pray to him, and he will hear you, and you will fulfill your vows. What you decide will be done, and light will shine on your ways. When people are brought low, and you say, lift them up, then he will save the downcast. He will deliver even one who is not innocent, who will be delivered by the cleanness of your hands. Job chapter 23, Job's argument with God. Then Job answered, even today my complaint is rebellious. His hand is heavy despite my groaning. If only I knew where to find him. If only I could go dwelling. I would lay out my case before him and fill my mouth with arguments. I would know what words he would answer me. and understand what he would say to me. Would he oppose me with great power? No, he would only pay attention to me. There the upright can reason with him, and there I would forever be delivered from my judge. But if I go to the east, he is not there. If I go to the west, they do not find him. When he is in the north, I cannot perceive him. When he turns south, I do not see him. Yet he knows the way that I take. If he tested me, I would come out as gold. My foot has held closely to his steps. I have kept his way, not strayed. I have not departed from the commands of his lips. I have treasured the words of his mouth more than my daily bread. He is unchangeable, and who can change him? Whatever his soul desires he does, for he fulfills the decree against me, and many such things are with him. That is why I am terrified at his presence. When I consider this, I fear him. God has made my heart faint. Shaddai has terrified me, yet I am not silenced because of the darkness, nor by the thick darkness that covers my face. Job chapter 24, Futility of Injustice. Why are times not stored up by Shaddai, and why do those who know him not see his days? Some remove the boundary stones. They steal flocks and pasture them. They drive away the orphan's donkey and take the widow's ox as a pledge. They turn the needy off the path. They force the poor of the land into hiding. Behold, like wild donkeys in the desert, they go about their work, foraging prey in the desert as food for their children. They reap their fodder in the field. They glean in the vineyard of the wicked. Without clothing, they spend the night naked, without covering against the cold. They are drenched by mountain rains and hug the rock for lack of shelter. The orphan is snatched from the breast, the infant of the poor is taken as a pledge. They wander about naked without clothing and go hungry while they carry sheaves. They press oil between the terraces, they tread wine presses but are thirsty. From the city men groan, and the souls of the wounded cry out, yet God charges no one with folly. These are those who rebel against the light, who do not recognize its way, or stay in its path. The murder rises with the light, kills the poor and the needy, and in the night becomes a thief. The eye of the adulterer waits for twilight, thinking, no eye will see me, and he disguises his face. When it is dark, they break into houses, but by day they shut themselves in. They do not know the light. For to all of them morning is as thick as darkness. They are familiar with the terrors of thick darkness. He is foam on the surface of water. Their portion of the land is cursed. No one turns toward their vineyards, as heat and drought snatch away the melted snow to Sheol, takes away those who have sinned. The womb forgets him. The worm feasts on him. No longer will he be remembered, but like a tree wickedness is broken. He feeds on the barren and the childless woman, and shows no kindness to the widow, but he drags out the mighty by his power. He raises up, yet no one has assurance of life. He allows him to rest in the sense of security, but his eyes are on their ways. They are exalted for a little while, and they are gone. They are brought low and gathered up like all others. They are like heads of grain. They wither. Now, if it is not so, who can prove me a liar and reduce my speech to nothing? Job 25, Bildad, justified with God. Then Bildad the Shuhite answered, dominion and awe are with him. He establishes shalom in his heights. Can his armies be counted, or whom does his light not rise? How can a man be righteous with God? How can one born of a woman be pure? Even if the moon is not bright, and the stars are not pure in his eyes, how much less man? But who is a maggot, a son of a man who is a worm?